Hi guys, welcome back to J&H in the Comic Wasteland. We're up to episode 8.
Yeah.
Shit,
Wow.
8 at this point. And we have Johnny back with us. We're going to be discussing Black Science written by Rick Remender. So we're going to take you by, give you a little outline of what's happening and just bear with us. Johnny, you want to take us through what's it about? And
roll that intro music? I don't know. Now?
Yeah, the cold open, yeah.
All right, so this is Black Science by Rick Remender and Matteo Scalera. Rick Remender decided to stop doing Marvel books and to focus on his indie stuff. This was one of the titles, in addition to Deadly Class and Low. And just wrapped up Tokyo Ghost, and he's starting another one next week by the time it comes out, 7 to Eternity. The art's by Matteo Scalera. He's known for Dead Body Road with Justin Jordan and dead covers for Mark Waid's Incorruptible, issue of Batman, so on and so on. Basically, Grant McKay, our main character, he and his team, the Anarchist League of Scientists, create the Pillar, which is a device that basically allows them to travel through dimensions, with the intentions of finding cures, finding rare minerals and stuff like that.
the Eververse.
Yeah. Just like the Eververse, like they describe it as an onion, like this story is so many layers to it. A lot of stuff to process, a lot of emotion. Basically, they go through all of these dimensions, and crew members die. They see some fucked up shit. A lot of betrayal.
Millipede, death cults.
We learn early on that their decisions actually affect the rest of creation. So any decision they make, like if we were to make a decision now, then across the Eververse, somehow it would affect and create like new universes. So that's
a ton of hypotheticals.
Right. It's a very intricate storyline, but essentially it's all around these main characters, and we keep seeing like different versions of themselves, and how like for some reason our main characters have a different journey as opposed to the rest of like their counterparts. I guess in the case of like Grant McKay and his wife Sarah, they keep losing their kids.
The alternate Grant, just for the sake of the argument.
The alternate Grant McKays, they also obviously created their own version of the Pillar, but they kept losing their children. And the only ones that have them alive is our main characters, our own version of Grant McKay.
But the first Grant McKay technically dies, and then it becomes like the alternate Grant McKay becomes the new Grant McKay.
Right. Like it's hard to follow. If you read through it, it'll make sense. But essentially, we end up getting like a new Grant McKay somehow.
All right, so I love this book. This is like one of like the top 5 books that like when people ask me like, oh, what am I reading or what can I recommend? It's usually this, Archie, Saga, Deadly Class, and I'm not sure, was that 5? I can't remember. But yeah, so my major gripe about this book is that there's no true jumping point.
Right.
Like you have to read issue 1. To get like the full story.
It's like 24.
Yeah.
It's like there's no jumping on point. So even like unfortunately like this issue is right smack dab in the middle of a new arc. Basically, at the end of the third one, Vanishing Pattern.
Right. Sorry.
It's Rebecca kind of programs the Pillar to go to where she wants to go while separating everyone else. Into different dimensions.
Yeah, Rebecca's
We find out that she was behind it all.
Right. She's one of the scientists working with Grant, and also having
Grant's mistress.
Right. They were having an affair.
She manipulated Kadir to get Mr. Block to spearhead the program.
Yeah.
She was behind it all, and so she goes to where she wants. Everyone else gets separated. Grant goes to God World, where he kind of goes on his vision quest. He
sees his brother, right?
He sees his brother.
It jumps ahead 3 years.
And jumps ahead 3 years.
So apparently everyone's been scattered for 3 years, right?
Yep, 3 years.
And he finally lets go of all his emotional baggage.
Yeah.
And then like now he's on his quest to reunite his family and like finding everyone on in the team. So the first planet was he sees Ward, which was his friend who was like a military vet,
Right.
who couldn't adjust to like
Civilian life, yeah.
normal life, and like it was like a little touching moment just because he basically Ward just wanted like a normal life,
Right.
family.
He wanted the life that Grant had.
Yeah, the
and,
white
and
picket
Grant
fence.
didn't appreciate. You know?
Yeah, and he's like, oh, like you don't need that. Like love is bullshit. But it's like, dude, you're married with kids. Like I just want that. So it was like a bit of a touching moment. The second dimension is where he meets up with Rebecca, and he like.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah, we realized that her whole goal was to get her brother back. So she entered a world where
Her brother didn't die, yeah.
her brother didn't die, and she killed her alter self. You know, the real
That
Rebecca from that
world's-
world,
yeah.
and just took over that life. So Grant's like, well, fuck that. You know,
Yeah,
you ruined my life. I'm gonna ruin yours.
He took it apart piece by piece. Yeah.
Yep, and just left her behind.
And it just showed that like he was a changed man. Cause like like
He could have killed her. But,
he should have. He could have.
Yeah, by rights, he probably should have killed her.
But he didn't. So he just
He's
straight
like,
up.
yeah, I'm gonna do something worse. I'm just gonna
So
leave you here.
now issue 24. He's in Pia's world. And Pia is like all like grown up. She's like soon to be a princess of the Tarana kingdom. And like she's like she's brokering a peace treaty, and like Grant comes crashing down.
He inadvertently destroys the pyramids.
Yeah.
So now like he's just trying to make things right. He has to go get the oxen heart.
Yeah.
Right.
By from the cursed witch Doxta.
Yeah.
Doxta.
And so he just takes it upon himself, journeys with the horse Spaghetti. I mean, a comic relief.
Yeah.
And he just basically like finds a cabin for shelter, and turns out this nice old lady is helping him, tends to Spaghetti's wounds. Then like you find out Pia follows him, and like they have their little touching moment, but they find the oxen heart there at the house, and Grant's like, fuck this, take it and let's go. Don't look back. Finds out that the old lady is actually Doxta the witch. So where there's like she wants to make a trade where like Grant gets Pia and the oxen heart for Grant's intellect, for like the whole knowledge of black science.
Right.
So issue 24 opens up with him actually doing the trade.
Right.
And he actually becomes a hero because he gets Pia, he brings Pia back, and he has the oxen heart.
Yeah.
But at what cost?
Right.
Going from there, he decides to actually all right, he's just gonna leave Pia, and oh look what she's done. She's like she grown up right in front of his eyes, and he was just gonna leave her there. Turns out she gets on she ends up going back to the pillar craft, we could call it, Hal.
Yeah.
And they.
That's a 2001 reference, right?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
And so yeah, they instead of all right, let's go find Nate. He's like, oh no, I'm dropping you off.
I'm going to go find Nate.
Yeah.
You are going home.
I mean, if it was really that easy to get them home from the start, I mean,
this is an older, wiser Grant McKay, so maybe
it's
that's
3 years of of madness to get to this point, right? Yeah. And then, and anyway, once they get back,
you find out Kadir is still alive.
Right. Not only that, but
he's shacked up with their mom.
Right. It's 3 years, and their mom thinks they're pretty much gone and dead.
Right.
And this is 3 years of having to deal with them, her whole family
being dead.
MIA pretty much, just to have him come back, only to realize that shit's fucked up. Mr. Block has to pretty much on on lockdown. Kadir's shacked up with Sarah,
And that was the first real time that they showed Mr. Block, right? That
dimension. Our universe is Mr. Block, right?
If they did, they only maybe showed him in retrospect, not actually in real time.
Yeah, we saw the retro, the cowboy world Block, and then we saw the millipede.
The millipede
Block, right?
Right. If we weren't abundantly clear across the Eververse, there's always a Mr. Block, there's always a Grant, there's always a Kadir, and I think there's always a Rebecca and a Sarah.
There's always a Sarah, right?
Yeah. So and then it replays itself, right? The person that fucked up continually fucks up, and then Mr. Block is always the bad guy.
Well, except for Monkey Grant McKay.
Well,
human Grant McKay fucked up his pillar. Right?
Yeah.
That's true. But that was good, and honestly, like obviously the science behind it is
No,
like
it's very sound. Yeah.
mind-boggling, but obviously it's more like their emotional journey across like seeing themselves in a different light, which I thought it was very interesting. And obviously Grant is a very flawed character, but it's it's just nice to watch him like go through the motions of him like growing up and just learning how.
No, his hero's journey, right? Yeah.
Right, because he obviously. He wasn't a really good father to begin with, not a very good husband.
No, he was very self-centered, yeah.
Right, he was always into his science and just kind of like, humanity first, my family second, and it's kind of commendable, but it's a little fucked up at the same time, so.
Right.
He thought he was doing it for the greater good.
Right.
But like, Godworld, like that whole arc, it kind of explains why he was who he was in the past.
All right, with the whole, with his dad, and
his
how,
dad,
how it went down, his mom having,
like, he told his pops his mom was having an affair or like having multiple like boyfriends, and like he ended up killing himself. So it kind of like
his mom never let him forget it,
Right, and mom just blamed him for everything because he broke the family apart or whatever.
So now like Mr. Block makes an appearance, captures Grant McKay, steals Hal.
Yeah.
And then basically like once he finds out that Pia's back home, like he kind of like strong arms her and saying like, oh. The lab accident killed Chandra, Sean, Ward, and he kidnapped the 2 kids and Kadir.
Right. He's making it play as like it's really Grant has been crazy the whole time, making like, and then make everybody believe he's like he was the bad guy all along.
And he just by paying them off.
Right. Like there was one or two ways. She either like goes against him or goes along with it, and
like this is like her choice in like the Eververse more. Right. So now it's just like, all right. He has Hal, and he has a fully functioning pillar now.
Yeah.
So like the one in our like the initial dimension was like so fragile that like it barely worked. So now it's like it's going to be interesting to see where it kind of goes. Like what's his intentions? What is he going to do? Is he going to be like a sort of manifest destiny as like the millipede block?
Right.
You don't know what's going to happen with Grant. The next issue, like the cover for 25, shows like Pia in like regular street clothes. Like it's basically like a big what if. We don't know what's gonna happen because honestly, for me, I didn't expect him to take her home at all.
No, I thought he was just gonna keep going.
As a book about parallel universes and multiple choices and their cause and effect. This book can literally go in
anywhere.
Anywhere. Yeah.
Anywhere you want it.
He did this basically to try to win Sarah back.
Right.
Exactly. So.
I thought that was a really good part in the Godworld arc where they show that Sarah introduced Grant to Rebecca.
Right.
Like when they were like in college or something.
Right. It was different. I like that. Yeah. I like seeing that. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, the backstory and stuff.
But I guess that's where we are now. So where we're going, we don't know.
Yeah, it's so many options.
But I thought it was fascinating that with the whole cracks in the Eververse thing that these other people are following those cracks that Grant's causing.
Right. Like every time he jumps on the pillar, he leaves like some kind of like hole behind, which is they're kind of destroying.
Right. I was saying they're literally punching holes in the fabric of reality.
He said like. I guess theoretically, if he keeps going, eventually he would just like
it's gonna collapse in on itself, right?
So they have that as an issue. The rest of his team and his son is still somewhere out in the Eververse.
Chandra's possessed.
Yeah, Chandra's possessed by one of the monkey ghost things, right?
The plant.
Grant is on lockdown.
So is Sean dead?
We don't know.
Right.
Because I mean, like hypothetically, we thought Kadir was dead because he got stabbed in the chest.
Right. So we don't know. It's kind of cool. We don't know.
Like now, like you don't know Block, the centipede, millipede Block.
Right.
Could like
going across the Eververse and killing everyone.
They're going across. How's it going to coincide with our Block, our Mr. Block? Who knows?
Any lasting thoughts? Like, what do you expect to like get out of this by I mean, maybe the next like few issues?
I mean, they've done like parallel world books before, like Exiles, for instance. But I love the mature take on the whole genre, like what this book has.
Right, it's not like a formula. It's like it's just whatever. This is what might happen because shit's fucked up. Like we make a decision. This is how it's gonna propagate across like the Eververse.
And even like with Shaman, when Shaman's like, I can't allow you guys to do this shit anymore.
That's true. The Shaman
was a great character.
He was a great character. Barely used though. He was just there like as a healer.
I mean, cured Nate's diabetes. Then even in the Vanishing Panel where Kadir fights Ward, like that was an amazing scene just because he was basically kind of explaining himself to that Ward to kind of like resolve himself just because like,
so he would be guilt-free, right?
Yeah, like, all right, like, you know, you wanted me to give you the one weapon that we had and like, you know, I was just trying to get the kids back, but you wanted both the last weapon, like we all would have died. And like, you know, he was just trying to explain himself. It was really a really good, well-written, well-drawn.
Yeah, he wasn't just like some coward that ran away. Right. You know, there was actually some logic to his decisions.
But you know, like Ward begged to differ.
Right.
Like, you know,
of course,
you left me out high and dry. So this is to kind of wrap up. Basically, you could buy this at your local comic book shop, Image Comics, Comixology. Though cheapgraphicnovels.com has the first 16 issues in a hardcover for $30, I think.
That's pretty good.
It contains the first 16 issues, I'm assuming plus extras. But they also have the first 4 trade paperbacks, which total out to like $33 before tax and shipping. So, I mean, like if you have money to spend, you know, definitely this is something like you're a huge sci-fi nerd, you could just definitely check this out. I don't want to say the Mushu pork, but it
comes back around.
Yeah, when we used it last week for alters.
You never know. You never know. You just might like the way it tastes. So yeah, definitely check it out. I highly recommend it. I got these guys on board.
Definitely. I read the latest like 18 issues yesterday.
Yeah.
In one sitting.
I got these guys on board. So yeah, if you like it, great. Support the team. You know, these keep writing. They'll keep going with the story. But that's really it.
Yeah, I guess that's it for now. Thank you guys for sticking with us. Thank you, Johnny, for being here.
Thank you, Johnny.
As always a pleasure. Always, we love Mushu pork.
You should really try. It's really good. I mean,
yeah, try both the comic book and the Mushu pork. Okay, so no, thank you for being here. Obviously, we love to hear from you. Any feedback? We hope you like this episode, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Hey guys, tune in next week as we discuss I Hate Fairyland by Scotty Young and Image Comics. See you then.